We are now in step 13.7, which is all about applying character formats. So the first thing we need to do is open up step 13.7 from your lesson 13 data files. Okay, and let me zoom in a little more. So the first thing we will do is save this step as H2O1. And press save. Alright, so basically we will be changing the character formats using different font design styles to add enhancements to our document. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we will do is click the page layout tab, and in the page setup group, click line numbers. Drop down on the arrow and select continuous. And notice we now have our line numbers that basically numbers each row. So it makes it easier to identify as we apply the formats. So the first thing we'll do is select all of the text in line 1, and remember we can double click, triple click to select all of the text. Now, Word is intuitive. It knows that we just selected this text, and if you can see, I have what is called the image of the mini toolbar, which is right here. And it looked very faint, but as I moved my mouse up towards the mini toolbar, it became more bold in its existence. So the first thing we will do is use the mini toolbar to bold our selection. Alright, so click the Home tab in the font group, and notice because we bolded that selection, the button has actually been toggled on. Even though we didn't click on the button, we clicked on it from the mini toolbar, which highlighted the bold button in our font group. Alright, so the next thing we will do is, with the text still selected in the font group, click on your Change Case button. And remember, if you don't know what that button is, get the screen tip. And here's the Change Case button. So drop down on the Change Case and select Uppercase. And notice that our selection is now an uppercase. So let's move to select all of the text on line 2. And again, notice we have that mini toolbar. So let's click on our bold, and then click on the italics. And notice on our ribbon, those buttons are lit up as we push them. And let's click on the font color red. Alright, so let's move to line 4 and make a selection. Move to your font group and your underline button. Drop down on the arrow and scroll down to select the wave underline option. And notice now the wave underline is applied to our selected text. So let's drag the mouse pointer to select lines 8 and 9. And in your font group, click the font list arrow and scroll down your list of fonts to select Comic Sans. Notice that as you scroll down the list and you run your mouse over the options, it gives you a nice preview of what your text would look like should you select one of the options. So we're going to go with the Comic Sans. Select that option. Now, click the font size list arrow and we will change our font size to size 14. With the text still selected in the font group, click your shrink font button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now basically we shrunk our font size back down from 14 to 10. Then in the font group button, this time you're going to click on your grow font 1 time, and it took us to we increased the size back to 11. With the text still selected, click the font size box and select 12, and it changed our font size to size 12. So let's scroll down. Well, actually, here, notice our 72 degrees. It looks like a 72 with the little 0. But what we need to do is select this little O, and we want to change it to the superscript so that it actually looks like a degrees. Again, get the screen tip. You have subscript, you have superscript. So notice when you changed it to superscript, it moved it up to look more like 72 degrees. And then move down. And right here where it says H2O, the same thing. For H2O, the 2 should actually be a subscript. So move back up, select subscript, and that looks like H2O. Alright, so move down to line 14 and enter www.h2ocove.net and press enter. And notice that it formats what we just entered as a hyperlink, which is applied to the URL. Because the document will not be published to the web, you do not need a hyperlink. So to format, you will simply right click and select remove hyperlink. And notice it just changed it to regular text. Now, select the text on line 12 and highlight. Use your text highlight color to change, let's see here. You can just click to highlight line 12. Alright, so this completes the fonts, applying the formats to this step. Save the changes and leave it open for the next step.